I'll give you this Walmart gift card if you could tell me how many days did it take for God to create the heaven and the earth.
6 days.
There you go. I'm going to give it to you.
Pray your rosary.
We have to pray to the Lord.
If you go way back, our Blessed Mother is put in charge of what's going on now.
See, only God can hear our prayers, and it's through Jesus Christ only.
Go back and look, because he gave our Blessed Mother to us.
We have to stay by the Bible. If you enjoy my videos, can you please click that subscribe button?
Today, as we celebrate this glorious feast of Our Lady of the Most Holy Rosary, remember that this feast was originally called Our Lady of Victory, and the victory was in the Battle of Lepanto, when the Christian forces were so badly outnumbered, and yet, through the praying of the Rosary, victory was brought about. That victory wasn't just simply a military victory. It was a victory that changed everything, because had the Christian people lost in that particular battle, Europe would have become Muslim. Now we are fighting an even worse battle. It is spiritual warfare. It is an enemy that is unseen, and yet far more despicable than the one that was being fought back in the 1570s. It is a battle, we must remember, for your soul, for your marriage, for your family, and especially for your children. I cannot make that point strongly enough. I keep making it, and I will keep making it. This is about the children. It has always been about the children. It will always be about the children. And God has entrusted them to your care, to pray for them, to protect them, to make them saints. And he has also given us the means to do it. It is the Holy Rosary. In the Rosary, we have the mysteries of our faith. We have all of the ways that God has demonstrated his love for us and shown how he will work. As we heard in the gospel, nothing will be impossible for God. And Our Lady has told us with regard to her Holy Rosary that anything can be obtained through the praying of the Rosary. Anything. Not, well, if you pray well enough, maybe, we can think about it. No, she said anything can be obtained through the praying of the Rosary. And right now, it is a necessity. It has always been of the greatest importance. It is now absolute necessity. The battle has been engaged. And as I keep telling you, every one of us is going to have to pick a side. And there are only two possibilities. And this is the time that our Lord has given over to his Blessed Mother. Now, if you look in the Old Testament, it tells us that in time of peace, they will take their swords and they will beat them into plowshares. In time of war, they will take their plowshares and beat them into swords. So in other words, what is an implement of peace becomes the implement of war. We are at war. We are at war for souls, for families, for marriages, for the church, for society. We can go right down the list. But we are at war. And so what is the implement of peace, the Rosary, must now become our implement of war. Because the foe that we are fighting is a spiritual one. Oh, sure, he's got his minions on earth, his human beings that are carrying out his will. They're not the ones we need to worry about. We need to pray. There is an apparition that was approved, I don't remember the name of it's one of these long, long names, but little tiny town over in Italy. Just happened back a couple of decades ago. And Our Lady said in that particular apparition that the Rosary is infinitely more powerful than any weapon on earth. So think about these 20 and 30 and 40 megaton nuclear bombs that they have. Think about the fact that we're now in a time where hopefully it is just a bluff, but they're putting the nuclear things, at least they're claiming to be putting nuclear things on the front lines. They are threatening. And the weapon that you have in your pocket or in your purse is infinitely more powerful than all of those things. Nothing can deter the power of our Blessed Lady's Rosary. But we have to have trust. We have to have confidence. Remember the story of a man who was out on the farm and he could see a tornado coming across the fields. And he gathered his family, his wife and his children, he put them down in the basement. And he grabbed his rosary and he said, "You guys go down in the basement, I have some work to do." Because this tornado is coming directly at our house. And he took his rosary and he started praying it and walked directly at the funnel cloud. And the funnel cloud turned and was diverted around the house and then came back on course and just picked up where it had left off. I told that story to a priest, and the response that I got was, "I would have put my money on the funnel cloud." Yep, you of little faith. Ask yourself, what would you do? Which is more powerful, the rosary or the funnel cloud? Which is more powerful, a nuclear bomb or the rosary? We know the power of a nuclear bomb. We've seen it. We also know the power of the rosary. We've seen it. Where are you going to put your faith? Nothing is impossible for God. All things are possible through the praying of the rosary. So we can put our trust in all the military might, or we can put our fear in somebody's military might, or we can put our faith in Jesus Christ and in His mother. That's our choice. You have everything you need. It's right there in your pocket or in your purse. Use it with faith. Use it with confidence. Pray it. Don't just say it, pray it. Because all things can be obtained through the praying of the Holy Rosary.
Dieu, tu es grand, tu es beau, Dieu vivant, Dieu très haut, tu es le Dieu d'amour. Mon Dieu, tu es grand, tu es beau, Dieu vivant, Dieu très haut, Dieu présent.